Oh, like live?
Well,
Woo.
I mean, I can look at it. It looks like
It
the
looks live.
just the Josh intro. Oh,
Ooh.
even now, the foam rises. The foam also
Okay.
rises. Oh wait,
The
no,
foam
it
also.
came back down.
Oh,
Now
no,
it's
no.
coming down. I
Well,
honestly,
it's like
no,
gravity.
here, no, Josh, is the microphone active during the first part? I hope so,
I hope
because
so. Yeah.
that gives the entire process a unique texture. Just too fresh. Thank you so much, of course, for your kind patronage. Hello, I am your internet friend, Jerford K. Horcrims. And what's more, however it came to be, certainly maybe it's entirely possible that you are rewarding yourself for having voted earlier in the day.
True.
This is an incredible opportunity to
To
feel
vote more.
to feel the relaxation and the Highlander tier
Mm.
power, of our democratic institutions.
Listen, I like to think
Yeah.
the years of us doing this show are just prepping people to vote.
Yeah,
Right? We're getting
yeah.
them in.
We have a rich educational tradition here.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, well, and again, I mean, keep in mind what is the purpose? What is the process? The entire idea is to offer to our audience that which they already own, which, as we know, is the art and science of brewing. Now, let me pull up my chat window so that I can commune. Now,
Ryan, that's a great idea. I voted emote.
Well, I was just going to say, it is, we can just get the I voted emote directly from Among Us, and then we're ready to go.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Now, Pearl Chaser, all the more reason.
Wait, what?
All the more reason to become good at making your own alcohol at home. Princess Cimarine, Your Highness, thank you so much for coming in. Now, of course, as always, and Baz, thank you very much. Now, of course, it would not be the show that you recognize.
It would be a hell of a lot better.
With its rich textures. If it were not for Acquisitions Intoxicated Brewmaster, Eric Benson, Notorious EJB, Edge, Azerbaijan, it's all a single entity. Imagine a beautiful marble of masculinity and brewing prowess and hair.
I get the image of a bowling ball.
Yeah, you know what if it's really large and has holes in its sporting equipment?
Yeah.
Does that help at all?
Does that work?
No, exactly. But you may recall from last week that we talked for a long time, and there's every chance of that. There's every chance of that happening again. Let me be quite clear. But the basic idea is that we should be able to resolve our Red Rock Blaster beverage that we were building last time, and unlike when we were actually in the studio proper, and I would walk in from my office at 12 o'clock exactly, and I wouldn't have access to my old stuff. I watched the last episode, and I was able to secure the precious numbers that we all worked so hard to develop. And so, of course, we're just going to pick up exactly right where we left off. But the talking phase, of course, is going to be substantial. I mean,
I agree. Well, can you just let's talk. Let's talk. We got beer to try.
Yeah. Absolutely. No. So, what did you? Typically the ritual begins with a tasting. So, what do you have over there that you were able to grab? It seems like you're on the Hellbent tip. Oh wow!
Oh my god, Hellbent Citra Fresh Hop this time.
Well, and the tall can I see.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding? We're gonna need it for today.
No, we just got to endure. We got to get all the way through. Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm overjoyed with Hellbent. They've been
Hellbent
beer that
Hellbent has provided material support. They've provided aid and comfort, I think is the legal term. Clues 43. This is Channel Queen Channel Queen territory, to be sure. Oh, Gamer says that they have us going while they're cleaning up a cat mess. I had the opportunity this morning to realize that you could sing the Hot Pockets jingle with
Hot
the words
Pocket.
"dog vomit."
Yep.
That's how my morning went.
Oof.
And so I was just trying to ease up. I was just trying to extract some kind of positivity from it. So I was kind of just humming it under my breath,
But then, is it going to traumatize you from eating Hot Pockets now? Like, will you still be able to eat a Hot Pocket?
Honestly, I think it's going to be about the same.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen that meat trio. It's
it does look like dog vomit.
I don't know what that industrial slurry they have inside there is.
I don't question it. It's delicious. I will eat.
Better not.
Yeah.
No, you insert it into its little CRISPR mausoleum combo. You lay it to rest, and then it is risen, reborn with vigor. But over here, so I've had decent experiences.
What's on your tab?
I've had decent experiences with Ecliptic. I found all their stuff.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Ecliptic, especially if you can like get it on tap, I think that's good. Mm-hmm. I think that Ecliptic is sort of like, it's never the wrong choice.
Right.
That matters. That matters, especially
months.
In this town where everybody's trying to jump in. Yeah, Symmetry 31 is a whole lot. But they've started to do some cool experiments, and just like everybody else around here, we've got they have a fresh hop as well that's called Altair. Ooh. So let's see what we got over in this neck of the woods.
Oh, this smells fantastic.
Oh, see, this is El Dorado. See, we are
Shut
big
off.
fans.
No, it's not. Is that fresh hop El Dorado?
Fresh hop El Dorado. I've never seen it.
I'm jealous.
Well, don't be jealous. Fresh Citra is going to be bunks. You're going to get that rind.
If there is if the corner store still has some, get an extra box for Kill Team. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I got that. I got all the terrain.
Yeah.
I got the Tinkerturf stuff from Lane. So
yeah, very cool.
We can build that stuff. I'll task my children with it. And it'll be better than most tasks they get, frankly. Right. So they'll be pleased. Now, so what do you got over here? Busaurus starting out at noon with the Fin du Monde.
Oh, hey, that's
it's an incredible Belgian, as I recall.
That is a fantastic beer.
But it is also called the End of the World. So, I mean, I guess start as you mean to go on.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, right?
Indeed, Smiling Turnip. Thank you so much. And Rex, obviously, the affection is bidirectional. It's a high data rate, and it's going both ways. Gosh, is Kill Team going to happen? Crimson, the truth is, that used to sort of be our Tuesday ritual, right?
Yeah.
We'd come in here, we'd do brewing, we'd head over. I'd kick it. I would eat a lot of teriyaki, I think, with Mike. Sometimes Tristan was there. And then typically we'd come back and either do a sponsored stream or a tabletop thing.
Yeah.
The truth is, it would not be difficult. And I could even run that here locally if I needed to, just from a Josh perspective. I could run. We could do Kill Team via Tabletop Simulator. I haven't looked in.
Oh, that's true.
I haven't looked into the Kill Team. If somebody's tried to manifest Arena or something in there, but if we could do Arena, it would be very legible inside there.
Yeah,
I think that everybody you'd actually be able to get it. My concern with trying to do wargaming via the stream digitally is that a lot of that stuff, it doesn't have the legibility. And also, I got to be honest, it's like, if I don't have Josh and Ghost to basically create incredible real-time cinematography,
this doesn't feel the same.
Have you gone back and looked, like in a moment of weakness, right? Have you gone back and looked at what they provided for us?
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
It's
it's mind-blowing. And the shots that they were able to get make the minis look 100 times better than we ever painted them. And I do not understand.
It's the same fucking object. Well, we had the same thing. Remember when we would do our painting streams?
Yeah.
And we would like be painting it, and it'd be like looking at it, and be like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then it comes over on the HD, and it's just like it's like a real person, but like an inch tall.
It's like I didn't do that. I don't know what magic is coming through this lens or what Josh is doing on the computer, but
no, it's true.
It was amazing. It was totally amazing.
Why don't you put some of that in your craw hole, and and give us the full review. And I'm going to see if Tabletop Simulator has.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Is it working?
It's not as good as the Amarello, but Fresh Hop Citra, it's not overpowering in this. They made it so that it's very smooth, with the like a creamy malt base almost.
Oh ho! All right, hey, so there are.
Look at this. It looks like I'm drinking Castle Ravenloft.
Yeah. That dark, a cup of darkness. No, so there are definitely some kill team options that if we wanted to,
really?
If we felt like it, and if enthusiasm was such,
that
it was worth it. I mean,
gladly.
Certainly we have endeavored to do some socially distanced. Competitive kill team where one person approaches and addresses the table at a time and
respects the table, plays on the table, and then backs up.
No, it's true. S.A. Wells, thank you so much. Now, is that true, S.A.? Yeah, I mean, if you look at, if you are a person of strength in character and you can handle it. I mean, go to the Seattle Times and check out that page. It sort of looks like it looks here like we're moving toward a third wave, third spike type thing.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Ewan, I don't think we have tried Tabletop Simulator in VR yet. We've kind of put that off.
I did downstairs.
Did you?
Ironically, there's certain things about Tabletop Simulator that make a lot more sense in VR, like where everything is spatial and your brain isn't having to run any kind of calculation or trick to say, oh, this board is like here. It's like if I'm just looking down at a board, it's like, oh, okay,
here are my guys. Yeah.
If I reach down and pick up a guy and move it, it makes sense. But there's other aspects. Tabletop Simulator in general is just kind of jank. And so there's aspects of their VR thing.
Right.
Yeah. There's aspects of their just the VR implementation that are goose juice.
That makes sense.
For sure.
But either way, we could easily get a kill team game going via regular tabletop.
Absolutely. Elverg, yes, it sounds like you have already been given the intro. But yes, this is Acquisitions Intoxicated, a spinoff of Acquisitions Incorporated, whose purpose is to inform, provide succor to the new brewer, and also to invite people into brewing itself. So let me take a look at this Eldorado. So we got hooked on Eldorado. God, that's probably 2 full years ago now.
Easily.
Because on our trip, like on our walk, we'd found a place that had it. Like when it was hot, like it was like the belle of the ball there for a while.
Right, exactly.
I've never had a fresh hop version of it. The reason we liked it is because, sometimes on the show it's like with coffee tasting or whiskey tasting. Like sometimes there's a poetry aspect to it where something can evoke something else, and it'd be like, hey, it tastes like a hose. It tastes like a mitt. It tastes like some leather or tobacco or something like that. Right. Eldorado actually tastes like stone fruit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like apricots, peach, mango, like rich syrupy stone fruit.
Yeah, it's undeniable, right? Like
it doesn't require any goofy stuff.
Right.
Dan Breenman is in the chat. We love to see
great.
it.
Love Dan.
We love to see it. Dan Breenman, how would you describe? Of course, Dan is our friend from Two Beers, with whom we did signing bonus, which is an incredible hazy that uses Belma hops. And Citra is a little bit more sharp citrus, so it's more on your lime lemon type angle. Belma is a much flatter sweet without the sharp. It's really nice. Right. Really, really nice. So let's take a look at this.
Yeah. Ooh, nice color.
Yeah, that's there. Yeah. It's like it's crazy pants. Were you into Zots?
Wait a minute.
Do they have Zots out?
No,
do they have Zots? Do they have Zots out east?
Hold on, I gotta look this. This sounds amazing. What the heck are Zots?
Oh, here, you'll see. So
Is it
I
just
sometimes
ZOT like Z?
ZOTS. Yeah. Yes, Orion Rogue. Idaho 7 is another classic that we
What
discovered
are
around
these?
this. We discovered it
Oh,
around the same time.
yes. Okay. Yeah, we had these. They were just a different name.
Oh yeah,
They're amazing.
you get
I
him.
love
Basically,
these
you get him in
thumbtacks.
the chain. It's all separate.
Oh, it was the best.
Yeah, Dan Marieman is breaking down Belma very well. Marmalade is right because it's
Yes.
a
Yeah.
sweet orange, right, and not sharp. Of course, Clues has got my back here. So a Zot sort of it has like a sweet hard candy
Yes. And then the
around fizzy powder.
fizz.
And so
Oh,
that's sort
the
of where
best.
this El Dorado is sort of set. It's established like right in the middle. So you have like the sweet, like right on the edge of too sweet, um, juicy fruit tastes in the middle.
Right.
But then it's just like fizz and like fizz and sharpness from the carbonation around the
Okay.
edge. Like it's really
That's
nice.
interesting. But is it so? Here's a good question. Is it like an acidic carbonation?
Let's see, because
I mean, you
that's
should taste this again just to verify.
but that's the bite, right? So that's what gives it the Zotz vibe. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a real sort of acid bite from that sits around the sweet fruit. So it keeps it in that IPA.
Yeah.
It keeps it in that IPA vibe. Like 100% of people are trying to do the hazy now, to the extent that I'm not even sure what the term means anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of just been amalgamated into anything that doesn't have bitterness, just juice.
Like, exactly. So if you're making it a certain way, Purple Monkey Robots, PMR.
Look at that, 42 months.
Good Lord, that's a long time. Now, yes, Neon Graveyard. I think some kind of Wonka candy is a great way of putting it.
Oh, yeah.
So I have my Twitch poll overlay.
Great. Synaptic Fire, I think 2 Beers is out of signing bonus, unfortunately. It went pretty quick, but maybe we'll get another one in someday.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, and there's Dan Breenman to back you up right there. Yeah, I mean, my understanding, I was just happy. Here, hang on a second.
Is it Papa Michael coming in saying, stop talking?
No.
Oh.
It's
Papa
Brenna,
Michael.
Brenna has sent me. Well, no, she has sent me a picture of some beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she's at the grocery store, and it's Sierra Nevada's Celebration Fresh Hop IPA. And the text underneath it says, "Is this too mainstream?"
And that is, yes, sir. That's amazing.
That is how I know that I am loved by this woman.
Yep, she gets you.
She gets it. I appreciate it 100%. Oh, Pint Crew. That's very tasty. That's very tastefully executed, Jux. So
the Pint Crew. Yeah, that's great.
I'm loving it. So we've got our Twitch poll. I have, as I suggested before, extracted the SRM 12, IBU 30, and ABV 7 for our Red Rock Blaster.
Wait a minute. So the SRM was only 12?
That's what I have from the earlier thing. Yeah,
because I love that.
Because remember, it's a little bit lighter because we're thinking about a fruit addition that's gonna shift the color too, right?
It's perfect.
Yeah, lots of room there to mess around, for sure. Oh, Atria Ventrica, of course. I mean, there is a point at which all beer is good, right? Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, for her, because every day, every time I go to the corner store, I come back with some crazy ass shit from a brewery I've never heard of. And so she looked at it and she's like, wow, I've heard of this brewery. Maybe that means it's too mainstream.
Yeah, right. But like, I mean, you think about it, like Sierra Nevada's great beer. I love Sierra Nevada. But Sam Adams, that dude started it with a plastic bucket, right?
Well, but the funny thing about Sam Adams, Dogfish Head, yeah.
He started on a Sabco one barrel system, right? So,
yeah. But the thing about Sam Adams, especially, is that Sam Adams as a national brand, fits into some very specific categories, but their range is actually much broader. It just tends to be regional.
Yeah. And a cool way to look at Sam Adams compared to, like, people are like, oh, Sam Adams is not craft anymore, right?
Yeah.
You compare it to Budweiser. So Sam Adams on any given day, the best way to compare it is Sam Adams spills 2% of the water that Budweiser spills on any given day.
Yeah.
When they're brewing. There's the fucking comparison of craft
Yeesh.
to
Yeesh.
Real, big brewing.
And then the other aspect of it too is that it's also about context. So I remember the first time I was ever down in Australia. It was really, really fun. There was like a tour of bands that had been at PAX, and they were also down for PAX Oz. Mm-hmm. And they just started an Australian tour that sort of followed along with the PAX schedule, right? And so I basically attended every show of this that I could. I ended up going to like 4 concerts.
Nice.
Same bands. It was just good times, right? And they have something there. What is that beer? I'm trying to picture it. There's like a cart. Carlton Draft. I thought I was going to have to search for it, but as soon as I started typing it, I was like, oh no. It's Carlton Draft, because it's a very, very specific logo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had handed me one, and I think that I was still sort of a fancy person at that point. And then I sort of, we've talked about this a little bit before. I mean, the purpose of Carlton Draft it's not meant, its purpose is to be a social lubricant. Right. And something that we're all drinking the same thing together. Right, and we sort of get it. Like, we know what's happening with it. And so now, when I've been back down there, like, it's incumbent upon me to recognize that, some of these things have a craft aspect and a culture aspect. Some of them are purely about social cohesion.
Right. Exactly. But if you can like manifest that social cohesion with a decent tasting beer.
Yes. Also good. Good.
Right? But that's half the battle,
But everywhere you go in Australia, the range may not be super broad. And Carlton Draft,
Tui's new, right?
Carlton Draft is something that is universally available. Yeah. I'm not here. 8-Bit Workshop. I know.
Yeah.
I know. All I'm saying is that Carlton Draft, I don't think it includes any alcohol. So, it's a very safe beverage to drink as well. So, taking a look. So what did we get through here? So we have just put together our special roast. So we're just now tuning our SRM, right?
Yeah. So, we don't really need to. The SRM's taken care of. The special roast is really going to take care of the SRM, because remember, we're not going for a really high SRM with this. We want it to be clear in color. We'll let the cherries do the talking on that point.
Yeah. Well, it could be cherries. Like, again, I'm not even sure we had that vote yet.
I thought we did that first, didn't we?
All right, did we? Let's see. I mean, I can go back. The channel will help me if I get there. Oh no, it ended up being cherries, didn't it? Clay, thank you so much for the sub. That's my suspicion. I think that you might be right. I think that you wanted to get that out of the way first.
Yeah. I thought it would influence the rest of everything we did, right? Every ingredient we put in would be kind of based off of a cherry backend.
Yeah, exactly. Black cherry.
Love it.
What Beckenbauer? What's the German word again? I remember it was in the chat last time.
For black cherry?
Yeah. Or maybe we were just talking about Black Forest cake.
Oh, yes.
Because the actual term is like chocolate cherry cake, chocolate cherry forest cake, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Kirsch. Yeah, that's it. Kirschtorten, is that it? Of course, not the R. Kirsch. There we go.
Kirsch.
Yeah. See, and I know we know about Schwarzwälder because our good friend Christian has a little hotel situated in the Black Forest. In fact,
I can't wait till we can travel.
Well, he sent me a substantial amount of Black Forest ham.
Did he really?
Yeah, yeah. What is it? It's the yeah, Schwarzwald Schinken or something like that.
Hmm.
And it, I'll be honest with you, he sent me so much. Oh, here, uh, Silvery Eyes. You came to the right fucking place if you want to talk about brewing devices.
Oh wow, yeah.
So, but the main thing with the Schinken, this like Black Forest ham, is that it comes in. He sent me like multiple pounds all told, and like I had it long enough that it began to form an unpleasant crust around the edge, and then I swear to fucking God, Eric, I
Yeah.
just cut it off.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
it was clearly fucked up in some like biological way.
That's like aging steak.
Yes, exactly. Aged steaks look gross.
Oh, it's disgusting, but it tastes amazing.
Oh, exactly. I was just like, you know what? Boop boop boop. I'll just remove these. I'll just remove this diseased portion.
Yes, absolutely, and it probably tasted even better.
Oh yeah. Oh, Beckenbauer, you're saying that like what was forming on the surface there were salts that had been like extruded from the core of the meat? Is that true?
That's amazing. That's really cool.
Oh,
if that's how it works.
Absolutely.
Like so we used to go to this place called Peter Luger's in New York City. It's a famous steakhouse, and a while ago you could go in before health department stuff and everything, right?
Absolutely.
You'd go into the freezer and you'd pick out your steak that had been aging for 30 days, 60 days, whatever, however many days that it would go by, but it would have that crust on it, and you'd be like, do I want to eat this?
Yes.
Like,
yes,
because the answer is yes. The answer is absolutely
those
yes.
Creatures are actually
down.
Those creatures are actually processing it. Yeah, I was what I was going to recommend, Gamer Gout, is literally what Cademan suggested here, right? Which is you want to find, and it won't be super hard to find. You want to find Lindemann's Framboise.
Yep, that's a very easy intro,
and it's just gonna ease you straight in. It's sweeter than wine. Yeah. Tart, tangy, juicy. It is incredible, and because it isn't even trying to do a typical beer profile thing.
Like, I love this question. Like, I love seeing new people come into beer, even people that are like, I just don't like this X taste, right? But I love the like Mike's palate. Like we know what Mike's palate is, and I love trying to play into that.
Yeah.
Trying to find a beer that he likes.
Exactly. So and Sapperbait's correct here, right? The peach lambic, there's a whole range of lambics. I'm saying grab a couple, bring those home. It's a big bottle. Take advantage of it.
Now, another one to get to, once you've graduated past like lambics and you say, okay, I want to move more into a beery spectrum, like an average tasting beer, go with Hoegaarden.
Yeah. Oh my
God. This beer tastes like candy in a glass.
Yeah, and it's even for being where it's from and what it is.
It isn't
impossible. It isn't impossible to find either.
Oh no, you can find Hoegaarden everywhere now.
That's not crazy pants.
Because it became an intro beer.
Exactly. Now, now that we have done a little bit of lambic, we got a Hoegaarden, incredible, almost like vanilla, herbal hop type vibe. It's amazing.
I don't know if
you can see Hawker, if you find Hawker Shore.
Oh yeah, geez.
Right. Once you start poking a little bit around the edge there, you can find Hawker Shore. Start looking at Spaten. Any of the German beers are basically the on ramp to That's the on-ramp to it, I think, for people. Because people have been drinking these beers for hundreds of years because they're fucking perfect.
Right. There's a reason it's been
They're
around.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They're perfect. Like the idea that beer, like especially like American beer in terms of like Budweiser and stuff, these flavor profiles are nothing like that.
Yeah. No, not at all. God, yeah. Now I'm excited to see what Gamer Gout and thinks of all of these beers too. Like what the.
It's going to be good. Well, they're going to do great. They're going to do great.
The Spaten the Munich beer that they have. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's real good. Now, so uh, this is all obviously incredible. Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, Tobias is coming in with the real.
What do you say?
The real spellings for Hocker Shore and Spaten.
Yeah, Spaten, yeah.
Yes, the Optimator jukes. Wow.
Whoa.
What a treasure. Yep. What a treasure.
God, this just makes me
miss we've lost Michael. Unfortunately, we plied our trade with him.
But we didn't do a lot of the German beers with him. Like, I don't think I ever brought in a Hoegaarden for him.
No, not on the lighter side. We gave him Dunkels and stuff like that, and they were all winners for him, right?
Yeah, he loves the Dunkels.
What I'm saying is we've lost him to Imperial ciders. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind. If you want to drink a tall can, 8.5, it's made out of apples, I'm not going to fuck with you about it.
Are you kidding
but
me?
I'm saying that it might be that our window has passed.
We'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't mind giving a run at a Framboise. And
yeah, for sure. Rex Verity says, I had a 20-minute argument about drinking Budweiser while in Ireland and finally tried it. Turns out it's bottled by Guinness, and their quality control is much higher.
Yeah.
The inverse is also true. Every place that Guinness is sold, the recipe is slightly different.
Yeah.
So the U.S. version of Guinness, at least last time I checked this information, the U.S. version, the German version, the Irish version, they're all slightly different mixes. Yeah. And the American version of Guinness has a higher ABV than the Irish one.
Listen, I had a chance to go to St. James Gate, and let me tell you, it was like, it was heaven. I'm a Guinness fan, so Guinness tastes best in Ireland, certainly. Agreed.
Oh, man. So do you remember the Guinness Mouse poem?
No. Could you recite this?
I can. Some Guinness was spilt on the barroom floor when the pub was shut for the night. Out of his hole crept a wee brown mouse and stood in the pale moonlight. He lapped up the frothy brew from the floor, then back on his haunches he sat. And all the night long you could hear him roar, "Bring on your goddamn cat." What a delight. Now,
that is mouse among mouse.
I learned that there.
Mice.
It should be said.
Yeah.
The Guinness Brewery is like the only thing I did not go to when I was there.
Seriously?
Yeah, we didn't have time. This was a death march. Like, in the space of like 9 days, I think we were either in or stopped in every county in the Republic. Like, it was
amazing.
It was a vacation in one sense.
Right, but it was also a trek.
Absolutely. Vulcan Day 64 says, what's the deal with using beer in cooking? I know most of the alcohol is cooked out, but what are people looking for when they use beer and stuff like soups, nacho cheeses? Bread is also another classic one. It's because, you'll get a sense of it. So take a look at why don't you pull up another one of our recipes real quick, and we'll indicate to Vulcan. And the same is true for wine as well, although obviously wine in terms of its ingredients is a little bit more constrained, right? So yeah, grab something that's bonks.
What do we want to see? Like a Excalibur?
Excalibur would be great. It's another Irish red, right?
Yep. Pale malt. We still use Golden Promise. Crystal malt for the caramel. Black malt to give us that chocolatey bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
God, man, this was a fantastic
but
beer.
I'm saying that this is why. And then Polaris, and the reason we did Polaris
is peppermint
is because because it had the spice, right? We wanted to have a chocolate mint, like a grasshopper type vibe. So Vulcan, this is why. None of the ingredients, this is the recipe for beer, right?
Yeah.
None of these ingredients are alcohol. So once you've removed the alcohol, what you're talking about is a very sophisticated grain tea.
Yeah.
Right? And these things, when you put them together, are magical, especially if you're trying to give body and interest to something like a queso or something like that.
Right.
You're going to really, really broaden it out because, and again, obviously, that as soon as that Irish ale yeast comes in there, it's going to alter certain aspects of it. But that yeast is largely working on the sugars available. Mm-hmm. The rest of these flavors, and there's a lot of them, are all going to be there when you use them as an ingredient.
Yeah. I have a perfect example. So I make this, like what I think to be this just amazing sausage cheese dip. It's unreal. Like you have to make 2 batches because it's so good.
Yeah. Well, hey, so alternate flex has an interesting point, and this is worth talking about as well. Some flavors need alcohol to be exposed. Yeah, that's why, when it comes to extracts and things like that, these tend to live inside of an alcohol, because alcohol pulls compounds out as well. No, Omni, it's true. It's absolutely true. But beer sommelier, there's a different word. I was just going to say, now, EJP, would you like to go into the other word for this?
You can become a cicerone pretty easily. I mean, much like tier. A sommelier, the first tier is very easy, in both categories. It's like you can either do it electronically or via in person over a weekend. Mm-hmm. Then once you start to go up into the upper echelons, wine is much more stringent on the regulations and grading, but beer still takes a while to get to
exactly. And obviously there's a lot to it. Hey, so if you snatch up our other recipe, and then we can wrap that up. But that's the other thing, Vulcan, if you see that list, this is how long our show has been on.
Oh yeah,
our show is creeping up on, I mean, it's not 100 yet.
I have 132, but that's only we passed the 100 mark before the pandemic.
Really?
We did.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
A substantial number of them also having been brewed, tested, and I stand by. I mean, the ratio.
Look at these.
Look at quite good.
Yeah. War Priest right there. Red March Regular, delicious. Tinker's Lantern, which we did for clues. The Doomgate Dark Wine for Trevor.
Oh, the dark wine. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, it was delicious.
It was like drinking. It was like drinking being punched in the face. Like if there was a liquid form of that, you're okay with it. But you're okay with it. Remember, it had like raisins. It was like a bread pudding type thing. Fuck.
Oh, look at this. Velvet Curtain right there.
Oh, man. Velvet Curtain, Velvet Rope, obviously.
The Elder Grain. This beer was delicious.
Tensor's Liquid Fist. Asmodee Games, which is to say our friend Chris. What's going on? Now, here, so let's grab that other son of a bitch and let's work on it. So far what we've got, remember, we're trying to build a red. The theme here is Deep Rock Galactics, Red Rock Blaster, one of the official brews that is available from Floyd in the Abyss Bar. This sustains the minor. The Red Rock Blaster, as I recall. Let me. I can actually pull that up on my overlay. Bonus health off of that one, and so every time we try to do something with the ingredients,
holy shit, Doctor, that's a great Tasha's Hideous Porter.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, the truth is...
We'll do that next week.
No, I was just going to say, all we got to do, we'll just go back. We can start theming off of spells. Because of the Update 32, Eric and me, our friend Chris, and of course, Zagafinelli in the channel, like we're just obsessed with it. I think that's
Deep Rock.
That's probably my game of the year.
Yeah. I really just want to get a beer in the game.
Yep.
Just joking.
Oh, no, Beckenbauer. That's interesting. What's the opinion on a tiny, tiny hint of capsaicin to fit the topic? Oh, for the Red Rock Blaster, a little bit of spice in there. A little bit
of spice.
Here, let's finish the rest of this. In terms of spice, capsaicin would be one way. I think even a little bit of cinnamon, a tiny amount, might be good. But you can get at cinnamon with hops as well. Earthy hops can have a earthy spice as well.
Absolutely. So I think the next thing we do, so right now, this beer is good. We could stop and not put another grain in this and be perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's a great body already.
Yep. So I would give a recommendation for the next poll to be either no addition.
Yeah.
Victory malt, which is gonna add in more of a bready biscuity flavor, just to compound on special roast, would be really nice. or a crystal, which will give us more caramel. Other than that, we don't need anything else in this beer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Start pull. Take a look at that.
Look at that.
Sponsored by Northern Harbor. If only.
I love
the Young
it.
Graveyard. If only.
We need to do a sponsored beer for the car livery for Gabir.
Oh yeah. The Gabir Motors
like
official.
Sponsored by
Well, there's no reason.
There's
there's like, why wouldn't we do it now?
Yeah.
Because I mean, my understanding is that I think that this Friday might actually be the drop of the Gabir Motors stuff.
Oh,
so
really?
maybe next Tuesday it might be fun to emphasize the Gabir Motors, the rich Gabir Motors racing tradition. Of course, you can see more Gabir Motors racing at 1:30 today as well.
Hell yeah, Gabir.
Gabir Motors, you goose. You goose. Now, Ryan Rogue says, interesting, you described cinnamon as a type of poison in the past, and certainly it can be. That's only because I did the cinnamon challenge. I don't recommend it.
Well, that's like juniper, right? Like I love gin, but juniper is actually a poison to humans. It makes you do two things. It makes you either vomit or want to fight.
Yeah, it's one of the two. So this is just there's a lot about it, but no, actual introduction of cinnamon in there is one thing. But God, what was the hop? It was in Velvet Rope.
Oh, let's check.
But Velvet Rope was just
I want to say it was Saz, right?
I don't think it was Saz. It was one of the other nobles.
War Priest. So I love seeing this. The Jim Dark Magic, like we just put that down. That was done at the Fur Bar.
No, it was Tet. It was Tet, I think.
Yep, look at that right there.
Yeah. And when we swapped the yeast, it just it elevated the earthy spice like right in your face. But actual cinnamon would have been cloying and oily under those conditions. Mm-hmm. But because it was exposed with the hop, it was amazing. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Atria ventrica, that catnip. The first versions of that catnip beer they did were really, really hard to drink. Woof. Oh, a juniper mead would be great.
Oh yeah.
All right. Hey, so it looks like they want to build a little bit more of
a
sustaining biscuit middle in there. So we should give it to him.
Yeah, I dig it. What did we say our ABV is going to be?
The ABV ultimately is going to be 7. They charted a course in the middle. So there's enough there to keep you moving, but it's not incredibly heavy, and it's not nothing either.
Cool.
Yeah, well, Crimson, you grew some hops, right? Am I misremembering? Would you consider a hops cultivating stream? I guess the only reason I wouldn't do that is because it would involve taking a lot of pictures of my house. Maybe I can take them with my back to the house and looking out. And the truth is, I actually need to get vines. I need to change the way that they grow on my fence so that they grow vertically because they're crazy pants. I mean, I wish I could say all over. I wish I could say that I was responsible for it, but it's a rhizome type thing, and it just starts kicking vines out, and these vines crawl wherever the fuck they want. And they're really strong, slightly spiky vines, and they don't need any help. After they've had a couple of years to settle in, they just do shit. It's bunks. Hi, Josephine. So we've got something potent here, and I think that our color is almost right without even goosing it.
No, yeah, we're at 12. We don't need to go anywhere else. And I don't think we need to add any more grains to this. This is going to be delicious. Just
yeah, and it's and the addition is going to be a black cherry addition, right?
Yep, 100%. So let's talk about the hops we want to put into here. What types of flavors do we want to see from these hops?
Yes.
Oops.
My stream, no.
There we go.
Yay! Yeah, that was the closest between like despair and jubilation that I've ever been like so close together.
So yeah, I'm trying to switch it over because I want to show some everyone some like things you can use. Here we go. Change windows. If people don't know how, like, don't have a readily available knowledge of all the flavors of what hops are
you going to hit them with the?
You can go to this site,
mm-hmm.
and they do a really great selection. These are basically just U.S. grown hops, but
yeah,
like if we
top
say
tier.
if we want to look at fruity hops, we know these are going to give us, like El Dorado is going to give us fruit. It's going to give us a citrus flavor,
mm-hmm.
A pine flavor.
Like that's obviously sort of in balance, and but this is the range of tastes that you can expect out of it. Mm-hmm. Pyro wants to know, or Pyrrell wants to know, if we're using Discord's remote gaming setup to stream Beersmith. Yeah, basically.
Yep.
Discord, as we discovered during PAX Online, Discord is essentially all tools for every reason. My eldest is basically going to have their birthday party on Discord this year, so
that's great.
It's a sophisticated product for sure.
So what do we want to look for in terms of flavor for these hops?
Exactly right. Yeah, and Sanzone is correct. Yeah, hops are one of those things, like there's a lot of really normal stuff that is not okay for dogs.
Yeah.
Hops are one of the things. All right. So, in terms of flavors, chat, what do you see out here? What do you think that might be interesting along with our rich supportive grain bed here?
So, I mean, we could go stone or tropical fruit. That's an easy call, right?
Yep.
Yep. So,
well, in Crimson Harvest, honestly, we have actually seen hops that are really explicit in that sort of cannabis range.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly the smell of a processed like hop pellet, some of them, it's basically the same.
I know you're drinking that beer, but would El Dorado be a cool addition to this?
It would, because it's sort of it has like a sort of base syrupy sweet.
Mm-hmm.
El Dorado would be very rich and tasty inside this. Right. The only thing for us is like, do we want to emphasize some other flavor because we're adding literal fruit?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, do we keep it to the traditionals? Like, I would love Centennial in this, just because it's going to keep it's going to allow us to emphasize the fruit, not the hop.
So, right? what are the tasting notes for Centennial?
Let's give it to you. We get back to. So it's Centennial.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking at.
Yeah, El Dorado for pots of gold. Oof.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah, absolutely. Centennial is basically floral, citrusy, spicy, and clean.
Yep.
It's a classic one we'd put in so that would balance out the malt and not be too overpowering. Because we don't have to really do a lot of dry hopping in this unless we want to, because the fruit is really what's going to take.
Yes, right? I think that has to be ultimately. I think that has to be the focus.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think Centennial is a really cool one.
Now, and now we need in the same way that you might do like your regular photo and then a crazy photo.
Yeah.
Now we need something that reaches out and does something crazy. Now, Jux, if you want to get into earthy, a lot of the nobles will offer that earthy note as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like Apollo would be interesting if you really want to go.
Let's take a look.
Actually, Magnum would be.
Well, Magnum is big.
Yeah,
Magnum is big. It's also funny. Like, look at Magnum. Like, look at the tasting notes for Magnum. All taste.
Everything. What do you think about Yakima Gold?
Well, Yakima Gold, we have used before. Yakima Gold is a sort of broad spectrum.
Yeah, I like this
beer flavor, right?
Yeah, it's mild in its bittering. It has really great aroma. I think
But
that would be really...
Atria says, I've basically given up bittering with anything but Magnum, right? It's just, it works, it hits it. And then basically the rest of your build is just going to build the platform underneath its flavor notes.
Yeah.
And we already have something rich. So Magnum also would imply strength under these conditions.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Fox is right. Tet is spicy and earthy.
Well, I mean, we had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Spicy, earthy sure seems dwarven to me. There is a Pole Portois. Enjoy. Oh, hey, Mumbleblade, welcome aboard. So what we're talking about under these conditions is a rich black cherry. Mm-hmm. We're going full Kirsch-Tort on this episode of Acquisitions Intoxicated. Lots of options here, of course. None of them are wrong. In fact, they're made right retroactively by your selection. So you can't really go wrong here. None of this stuff is bad. Yeah, Centennial really would be classic.
I love the thought of Centennial in this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just
and the truth is, Tet is going to offer a little bit of those notes too.
Yep. I mean, we don't lose in any of these choices.
And I do like a classic, especially in that dwarven context. Of course, I like a classic. I want a sturdy hop that can hold up to some of this stuff.
Mumbleblade, I really appreciate your Independence Day quote. Welcome to Earth.
I'm loving it.
Yep. Oh yeah, Bell's Two-Hearted. Absolutely.
Kirschwasser. What? I don't even know what that is. Pyro. I'm not familiar with that term. Yeah, exactly. Welcome to Earth. Exactly right, Mumbo. Yeah. It's welcome to Tet. I'll be your host.
yeah.
Jerfric Horcrims. That's going to work just fine.
Wow, Tet really got... Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, Fusion. Two-Hearted. That's... You're in...
Yep.
You are in Eric's wheelhouse with that reference. Oh, Cherry Brandy Icy.
Okay. What was our IBU for this? What did we want to hit?
Well, nothing would bring me more pleasure than to reveal it. 30.
Perfect.
You're basically there. This has happened like 3 times.
Well, what a freaking treat.
That's killer. Yeah, that's going to work.
Let's talk about our yeast.
Yes. Yeah. So there's lots of cool opportunities here, especially since we're going to have a fruit. Now, this fruit edition, this black cherry edition, we're seeing this as a dry edition.
Yes.
Correct. We're not boiling this. This is coming in after the fact to offer its perspective on the ingredients, right?
Exactly.
We're not boiling.
No. This is coming in secondary fermentation. So I would go with American Ale 2. It's clean, tart, and nutty, but it will accentuate the fruit pretty well.
American Ale 2?
Yep, that's the classic that I would go with.
Clean, tart, and nutty. So that basically tart. So that is almost like a full spectrum support platform for our ingredients, right?
Exactly.
It's basically every note that we like in here and want. It is basically going to say yes, this, and then go home. Like all the American ale yeasts, they're not trying. They just like punch a clock. Right. They're not trying to do anything crazy, right?
No. They want to work their 9 to 5, and that's it.
And then they go home.
Yeah. See the family, hang out with the kids, relax, start the day.
They come home, read the paper, right?
Yep. Maybe do the crossword. I don't know.
All right, so let's get. Hey,
Um,
so Pyro wants to know if Beersmith works out secondary fruit additions effect on ABV and such. Well, because
yep,
we're
it
doing a dry
will.
addition, it shouldn't be massive.
Yeah, it's not really going to do anything much to when it's in secondary. You're not going to get much ABV lifting. Um, but it will affect. It'll calculate any other effects
Oh,
that
and
it may.
Tobias has a good question also that you have a direct answer for, and that's
Mhm.
how does one prevent bacteria from the fruit spoiling the beer if it's added after the boil?
Sure. So that's a really good question. You can buy fruits that have already been mashed up and purified
They're
in
for this purpose,
cans.
like a puree,
Yep. Yeah, puree. But really,
already sterile.
I've thrown fruits right in, like just straight up strawberries or raspberries. Never really had a problem. So
But especially in the dry edition, there is alcohol in the suspension too.
yeah, and if you want to be overly cautious, take your fruit, put them in a cheesecloth bag, and dip them in Star San
Oh
for a
yeah,
minute.
yeah. There's another way to sanitize these fruits.
Yeah, if it's, I mean, it takes a lot. I'm not discounting cleanliness or having a beer get infected, but it does take a lot of
Well,
um,
yeah, and certainly at the
work
home
to infect the beer.
at the homebrew tier. I mean, let's be frank with one another, Mister Benson.
Yeah,
These beers don't last very long.
no, no, and I think
They get put away, right?
I have had maybe one or two infections in my brewing career ever. So,
Yeah,
and that aren't on purpose. So
agreed. Jux says, where do
it
you
takes a
acquire?
lot.
Yeah, Jux says, where do you acquire your material components? Micro
Oh yeah.
homebrew is my suspicion.
Micro Homebrew is the place we go. That's a local homebrew store in Kirkland.
Mm-hmm.
They are absolutely fantastic. Tony and the guys, if you're local to Seattle, I would recommend going to Micro Homebrew.
Nope. In fact, we did
Um,
an episode. We did an episode with them
yep,
because obviously, we've been doing whole grain brewing with a device, but we actually brought Tony in for an episode to show how
yeah,
you can make these beers. It's just an alteration of the recipe, but you can make these beers at home on your stove, really.
pretty much.
And he actually brought in an induction plate, right?
Yep, yep. And you can get an induction plate, like if you want them. I mean, brew stores, your local brew store will have it. And I encourage you to go support them because they're probably hurting right now. So,
Yeah,
and
Beckenbauer. That's true. We have horse piss. I think is one of them, and I think In for a Penny is the other one that might be the other beer that might be lagering even now.
oh yeah, In for a Penny has definitely been lagering for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be great. So the other, this is an interesting. Oh shit, where did it get? Here we go. The Northwest Ale. I haven't seen this yet. Slight fruit flavor with malty ale with a good and goldy balance.
Really?
A good body and balance. Excuse me, not goldy.
So slight fruit, good body and balance.
Yeah. Slight fruit flavor, malty ale with good body and balance.
Ooh, wow. But that tracks. Like with our Northwest vibe,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that tracks with the styles that are popular here, right? Here
Absolutely.
now, Mr. Benson, can you soft shoe for a moment?
Yeah. So everybody, what do you think of this Whitbread ale? I haven't seen this before either. Has anybody tried this? Um, this is again fruity and malty, but this is a new one to me. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but oh yeah, Mumble Northern Brewer is the that's where I used to get all of my ingredients because I was in a place where there weren't any real beer stores until one eventually opened up. But I remember 20 some odd years ago, Northern Brewer would send out a catalog, and I don't know if they still do, but I would get the Northern Brewer catalog and just kind of look through it like it was the Macy's Christmas catalog, right? And but Northern Brewer is one of the best online sites you can get. They ship to you in just anywhere in the states in a couple of days. Their prices are fantastic. So if you don't have a local home brew store, hands down, go to Northern Brewer. Their customer service is one of the best. Oh God, really? So what is Mumble? What does their storefront look like? It's got to be huge. Yeah, Orion, the catalogs. I mean, it was crazy to think. I God, I mean, it was 20 years ago, so there wouldn't have been a lot of internet. I think it was just as like we were getting internet shopping come on. But that catalog that got sent out, I think they sent it out monthly, was just a freaking delight to see all of the new brewing equipment that was coming out, the hops you could get, and everything else. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jared was talking about the Northern Brewer, which is an online.
Oh yeah, didn't Will Wheaton have some
He
recipes on
did,
there?
yeah, he did a recipe with them called Vandal IPA,
Mm-hmm.
Vandal Eyes PA, which I think like played off of his wife's makeup line or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was really good. I remember brewing it. It was a really great IPA. But they used to, pre-internet shopping, they used to send out a catalog, and that's how I used to get all my ingredients and beer and stuff. It was like getting the old J.C. Penney's catalog for
Well,
Christmas, right?
there's like Crushfield.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh
It's
my
like
God, Crutchfield! Holy
it's
crap,
stereo shit.
that's bringing it back.
For
Crutchfield,
sure.
musician's friend. Remember
Same
musician's friend?
context though.
Yeah.
Same context, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Pyro's like fundamentally brewing is rotting sugar in a bucket. I mean, everybody has heard. Everybody has heard. Oh, Selleck, you did in fact miss the tastings, but it would not be
Oh yeah.
impossible. It wouldn't be impossible, Jeff,
To
if we
pop you
wanted to.
on.
I'd be happy to send something over your way if you want to pop in. If you want to, we want to manifest the first part of the show, the first part of the show together.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it would feel good.
It would make me feel good. Jeff is missed.
Something works exactly. Oh yeah, Tobias, it would be a great pleasure to do so. It might be a fun thing. So maybe I'll look around for some. I'll look around for something that we can get delivered. We can ship it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, right now.
God, we should do the like one of those beer of the month clubs. Oh, that's not going to work. Never mind.
It would
only once
work,
a month. It's only once a
yes,
month.
Sell it. Yeah, trust me, bruh. I know exactly what you mean. Taint, we are putting together a beer, a beer that is inside the game Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh yeah,
it is Red Rock Blaster, which is essentially beers in that game are essentially potions that offer you certain advantages when you're going down on your next run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so I think that we're gooch here, and then also
what do we got?
We have
what oh is
oh yeah, it's
wow,
not
the
close.
Northwest really,
it's not close.
Blew it out of the water.
Exactly, because it has its own fruit. We want the slight fruit, right? It's going to back up our malt play, and everything else is going to be even. Like this is going to be exquisite.
Yeah,
just
that's
exquisite.
Fantastic.
Now, so you've been having trouble at home. It sounds like utilizing the power of our previous brewing platform, just because some of the older devices have issues with the. Well, the truth is, you and I were online for 2 hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least trying to figure out what was going on with the pump. It's like, do I need to put more glycol back in the pump?
Do I got to summon a demon to sit inside of it? Do
do we need to protect ourselves from the monsters inside this device?
Yeah.
So no. I mean, obviously we're not interested in any of that. We want to make sure that we can extract our recipes. Currently the cloud aspect of that is still functional. We can grab our recipes, and obviously we have the recipes.
Well, we don't need to. We already have them on Beersmith.
Beersmith already has them ready to go. Yeah. If there's anything that we can do, like if you go to your mash, is there a down on the bottom for your mash profile? Is there a profile for a brewy? Like does it have other brew devices here?
Hold on, let's find out. Save mash. I think it's just an add-ons. If not, you would just add it in. So
oh yeah, because remember when it pulls up that other window, it doesn't show that on the stream, unfortunately.
Brew Monkey. Oh yeah, hold on. Brewzilla. No, there's no brewing in here, but that's fine. We don't need. I mean, it's
it's a calculation.
Actually, if we get the Grainfather's in here. somebody will have a brewery, I'm sure, a brewery
Yeah.
update that we can plug
Oh
in.
yeah. My suspicion is that it has been happened. Yeah. Brewy Fox, the Brewy device.
I mean, brewery's the ultimate. If we get one of those, that's hands
Exactly.
down.
So we sent them. You sent them a mail, right?
Yeah, Josh sent grandfather, and I tried to reach out to brewery, so we'll see
Yeah.
what comes
The
back.
cool thing about Brewy is that it's like theoretically we were using a 5-gallon corny for the Pico, but the Brewy you can do almost exactly 5 gallons.
Yep, exactly.
In there, right? And so that's 4.7 gallons, they say. And so you'd be
Close
able to
enough.
do. You'd be able to do. It would be a bigger batch each time, right?
Yep.
So,
yeah, I'd have to like start delivering it to everybody in the office at their home. We have to get like a ton of growlers, and like Dave gets a growler. I
yeah,
drop off
that's.
at Mike's
Yeah, I
front
was just
porch.
gonna say not.
Everybody gets a drop off at their front porch.
Yeah. That's how we ship that stuff over to Jeff for sure. Because I mean, you can bottle if you want. But I think I don't think beer is staying around people's houses very long right now.
No.
I don't want to engage in any doomsaying. I'm just saying
yeah.
I think people drink. It happens from time to time. Dr. Grego, look under your chair. Oh my God, you get a growler.
And you get a growler.
Exactly. So, yeah, oh, man, this is pure treasure here. This is working great for us.
Yeah. So
I love how this came out. Now, you know what we should do, because it's 110.
We need to get a name.
Well, the name typically is Red Rock Blaster. I mean, I feel
we're just gonna go with Red Rock Blaster. Okay.
Here's what we need to do, my friend. Let's say, hey, yeah, it was Northwest Ale. We're gonna take it to the hoop. What we should figure out is what we're gonna do next time.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
I'm just gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch the chat here. Selleck, exactly right. Now, Selleck, once you brought in that, I mean, I thought very cool, even as like a beer dork. I thought that little like a miniature keg, it had those bombs or whatever they were called. It was almost like a 2-liter of beer that you would attach to this device. Are you still utilizing Hopsy? That's exactly right. Are you still putting that to work? Is that still real? And Fujicatic is saying, hey, how about a beer for 10 towns?
Because you want to go with the Rime of the Frost Maiden theme, huh?
Well, man, we can fuck up a cold climate beer.
Oh, absolutely, like a
guaranteed.
Give me some
guaranteed. Here, so
tell me
I'm gonna go in here
for Dritz. Come on,
10 towns. So what we're gonna do? we're just gonna figure out next week's theme right now. All right. Winter lager. Oh, Fusion for sure. So easy peas. Some Gebir motors here. So I'll throw in Gebir motors.
Yeah. Oh God.
People do drink at races. I know this is true.
Fusion. A good call on a winter lager or ale, because I think doing a winter ale, prepping a winter ale right now is perfect timing, because we're going into the season for it.
Yep. We want it right.
So if we do a 10 towns winter ale, that's a great idea. And we don't have to do it this week or next week, but we can do it the week after too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully we'll have some hardware in hand.
So we'll keep it on the block.
Mm-hmm. No, Jukes, we are now broadening it. Update 32 came out. We're still playing it. We think that DRG is incredible. That's my game of the year for sure. Yeah. But we have done 2 beers from it. But I'm gonna put DRG's pots. Oh, gold. And the truth is, we can get to these however we want, whenever we want. I mean, it's fun to do. it's fun to be together and make these. So
we could do a Tales from the Loop beer.
Ooh, as well. Interesting. Gamer Guy is saying, hey, maybe something from Tales from the Loop.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like that. Tales from the Loop is a fantastic game. So
it is.
We get to emphasize that. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I'm pleased to learn that you enjoy the mailman's antics. Oh, Spotchka, the Mandalorian.
Oh, ho,
Uh-huh. Yeah, we
ho.
can look into the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian has spent a non-trivial amount of time in bars.
Yeah, this is very true. Oh my God, I love it. The Green Theory IPA.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. Here's our 5, just because we know, having run this show for a while, that if it's more than 5, eventually it's going to lead to a runoff anyway. So let's put it. Let's put this in here. Yeah, Monkey Island has got
Oh
a
God,
beer
yeah,
factory as
absolutely.
well.
I need to find a.
Oh yeah,
An,
Mumbleblade, 10 Towns. Yeah, if we put together a winter ale, or something like something to really stick to your ribs, uh, yeah, it would be a thing for sure.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like the 10 Towns idea because I'm an Icewind Dale nerd. So
Oh yeah, Icewind Dale was so funny. Like they were saying, hey, the Icewind Dale game, it isn't really as story forward as some of the Baldur's Gate stuff. I
mhm.
was fine with that.
Yeah,
I also
absolutely.
thought that I loved the finale of it too. I thought the Icewind Dale game was kick ass.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Tales from the Quadruped. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's substantial for sure. Synaptic, we have made some monster beers. Didn't We've made 2 barley wines here that clocked up near 12 to
Oh
14, right?
God, those things were insane.
And we rested it. We
Oh,
let
easily
that
for
rest.
6 months.
We let it rest and rest and rest. God, it was good.
God,
Um,
what? American Stout. I'm trying to think of
yeah,
what we
Pyro
had.
for me. I mean, obviously because I'm ancient of days. For me, it really hit it hit the
Yeah, it was the
uh,
Doomgate.
yeah, right. But the pools, like a Pool of Radiance,
Oh God, remember that?
Icewind Dale was much more back, for me, where I made the party and I had an idea of their personalities in my head, and then I played the
Mm-hmm.
game as though that was their personalities. Whereas, you play a Bioware game, they've got a ton of ideas about how shit's going to go.
Right.
I'm happy to render a lot of that in my own mind. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, all of those gold box games were just I mean, upbringing for me. So,
Right? Eisbach has 30 to 40% ABV. What the
eh?
fuck? 80 proof beer? What?
So on average, the
Partially
eyes.
distilled? What? Rosafi, what are you talking about?
Everybody's drinking
Oh,
today.
Nuclear Penguin. Yes, I remember the.
Oh, tactical nuclear penguin. Yeah. Did which one did I bring on? Did I bring that
Oh,
on,
it's
or
an
did I
ice
bring?
beer. I see. It's an ice beer.
Yeah.
That's why. So you're pulling out chunks of the water,
Yep.
and that withdrawal cranks the ABV in the remaining suspension.
It's like making an Applejack essentially.
Oh, yeah, same deal.
Yeah.
Same deal.
But you can make an Eisbach, and the average range is around 9 to 14%.
Yeah, unless you're going crazy hard.
Yeah, unless you want to shoot it to the moon.
Well, look, we got the Gabir motors right here, and then of course, because that's outside the other continuum,
Yeah,
we'll
I
be able
think
to
Gabir.
we'll be able to do the full thing. I'm saying we can do the naming. We can
Mhm.
return to a kinder, gentler age of the program,
Yeah,
right?
and then let's hit. So I think we've got it. We've got Gabir Motors
Mm.
for next week, then 10 Towns, and then Pot of Gold.
Yeah. So let me real quick. Let me save what we have here in my little text file. No more Tommy notes. Of course, I don't have my Linux
I know,
laptop at
right? I
home.
mean, what is
I know. I know. It's a crazy world we live in. So what we'll
high
do.
octane? Oh, that's great.
Oh boy, this is going to be
It's already
exquisite.
it's already hitting. So what do
It's
you think?
already it's how so good to see
What
it, pal.
what do you think are some Gabir Motors beers? Right? Do we do it on the
Well, we have to.
gasoline? Do we do it on the
No,
oil? Do we
exactly.
do
No,
it on
no.
the
See,
engine?
well, here.
Like
So
the
we so
livery?
so
There's so
let's.
many cool things,
I'm
right?
saying so. Let's dial back in, right? So we're talking about. I'm just going to look over at the poll just so I can sort of get a sense of what we're going to do. So next week we'll do Gabir Motors,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll do 10 Towns.
Yep.
Those are the clear winners here, and then the Mandalorian. And then God only knows by the fourth episode of that shit, there's probably going to be some stuff to get. That first episode was fucking sick.
Right.
Did you see it?
No, I've only heard. It's
fucking gross. But what's so funny is that this is actually going to be how this ends. So they basically ran into the ground with this new trilogy, right?
Right.
When these movies come back, they're going to be based on this show.
Right.
I guarantee it.
Is the new? Someone mentioned that the new show was based off the Chuck Wendig books. Is that
true?
Okay.
Nah, I don't think that's true. This is all Dave Filoni. This is like the Clone Wars guy, and of course he came over from Avatar and animated series stuff.
I love it.
All right. Well, hey, listen, that is looking like a treasure to me. I have put all this information in here and saved it. Now, in terms of a theme, here, so let's extract a theme from the channel as well. So if we're talking about Gabir Motors, and then we'll bounce. But if we're talking about Gabir Motors, are we talking about gasoline or fuel?
Right, because I remember when I used to race motorcycles, we put like 105 octane gas in our bikes. It was stupid. I can't remember what it was called. There was one place we could get it, but like, you know, is it a high octane?
Yeah, exactly.
Gasoline? Is it a thick viscous oil? Right? Is it rubber? Right? Like Omni. Is it the rubber of the tires? Is it? Or do we do a Mike race car beer? Right? Like.
Exactly. So I've got fuel, something based on the brand or livery, an artifact, which for the purposes of this show means, are we talking about something that you can get at a race?
At the race?
A real beer, right? Something that would be from that context.
Like, and is it also, Northern Harbor sponsoring?
It has to be. It has to be. Now, and then I also put in oil itself.
Mm-hmm.
So that we can dig down into something like that, where it's like, do we want to mess around with that? Because Old Engine Oil is a classic stout.
Oh God, that beer is amazing, and I've had the fortunate experience to have several of their different aging
really
flights. Yeah,
it's evil. I mean, that's one of the most evil. Like that's almost like on that old Rasputin tier, where it's at the edge of what I want from a drink. Yeah. Right. Yep. And I'm willing to go places, but that's my edge.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless. Steak-based clam stout. Look, we did it though. We had oyster stouts on this show.
It's true. It's true.
They were great. It happened.
Yep. We definitely had it.
Hey, so we got the brand livery and artifact beer. Now, speak now or forever hold your peace. Wow, because that's sort of a knife fight in there. You want to come in there, you want to thumb that scale one way or the other before I hit the button and make it real. But no, the crazy thing, we had that gooey duck stout.
Oh God, yeah, that and
there was nothing.
By all means, sounded horrible.
Oh yeah, Tobias, exactly right. Exactly right. It was flawless.
Yeah.
What it actually granted it was umami. There's no fish taste. There's no right. There's no oyster flavor. What it granted it was an legitimately odd richness.
Right. Right. There were no off flavors that detracted from that beer.
Well, Talp, you should know. I mean, this is the second vote for many of us today.
Yeah.
In truth, of course, we have mail-in here, so this is We checked those in a long time ago. A long time ago. I know, Tobias. I know.
But we're still practicing the tradition on this show.
Exactly. But it's rich.
Yeah.
I know that it doesn't seem right, but against those malts, against those big bready malts, the richness was actually so good.
Have you ever had a gooey duck just in general?
Oh, yeah.
I've never had one.
Oh, clamming and stuff like that. Like, that's, for me, growing up, that was a norm. That was like a family activity. Mm-hmm.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you live by a coast and you don't have any money, one of your recreational activities is getting food.
Fair enough.
Turns out.
Turns out that's what you do.
Turns out there's a bunch of food in the dirt, and you can go get it. Yeah, what can men do against richness such as this? Well, they can't. They're going to suffer. Now, it looks like we're going for an artifact beer, which, of course, I think is an excellent idea.
I love that idea. Yeah.
The whole purpose of it, right, is to we're going to try to capture something that you could get there. And depending on how that conversation goes, it may be that one show isn't enough. It may be that we want to put up a couple of the items that you can get up there.
So kind of like, is there a Northern Harbor line of beers?
Well, exactly. It could be tied into one of the sponsors with ease. Mm-hmm. It could be something more. It could be like, a lot of, weirdly enough, a lot of racing brands have the alcohol deals.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't think, but it happens. It happens. Oh yeah, Fusion Addict for sure. I know that Xavier Woods.
Oh yeah, no, he's already said he wanted to, which is
would endure us for a program for sure. But here, listen. So we've got it here. Artifact beer. I'm going to put that in the notes. Now, precious channel. What a pleasure it has been to spend this time with you. Now, fear not. Coming up at 1:30, my friend Mike Krahulik, and I am told perhaps a possible appearance by Mike Racecar. Will materialize for your amusement / enjoyment. How did that poll break down? I can even tell you.
Like if it's going to be a race stream or not?
I know what it's going to be. What style of racing it's going to be. Because he put a poll up earlier today. You are going to be looking at, Mazda MX-5 at Okayama. So very technical track. A sophisticated vehicle. It should be a treat.
Yeah, absolutely.
It should be. That's going to be worth watching. So until next time, Precious Channel, thank you so much for rolling through. We will see you again 1 week from now.